be careful that you are not around people that are in competition with you, because these people are not here to grow and evolve with pure intentions. They're here to step up people. They're here to one up people, and you'll see it in their intentions on what they're doing to show that they're in competition with somebody. They cannot be, it don't matter if it's a family member, a person that you know, like it don't matter. There are people out there that live in this competitive cycle, and because they're in that cycle in their mind, they automatically assume somebody that's sharing gifts and talents and just being authentic within themselves, that they're competitive. And so they'll be living in this invisible box trying to compete and share things to try to provoke or antagonize your character, to like try to trip you up. And they don't understand that you're not playing this game that they think that you're playing. And it's all because of competitiveness. There is this sick disease out there of people trying to compete with other people on truth, on growing, on whatever it is. There's always going to be somebody out there thinking that you're competing against them, when in reality, you're in your own lane. You're trying to help people. You're not having intentions to be selfish. You're being selfless in this life, and you're not in competition with anybody. You're in competition is being better within yourself, so that way you could better assist other people. These people that are competitive, they are in it for themselves. They are not in this to grow and to be humble and to learn humility. They are literally, they gain knowledge, and that's all they ever get. They don't get the wisdom behind the knowledge that they're gaining. They gain it in a competitive way to one up people, and then their intentions behind it are just so gross that it's hard for people to learn from these types of people or sit down and actually listen to what they got to say, because they're so pumped up and amped up in their competitiveness that they're missing the bigger picture behind learning and growing and gaining wisdom. They're doing it for selfish reasons, and they will literally think you're living in this mental mind game that they're in, and they will literally pin you as you're competing against them and their knowledge, and you're not even on that level. And you just need to be very careful, because there is a lot of people out there trying to compete with people that aren't playing that game. And it could be family. It could be people that you know. It could be anybody. And you'll see them by the way their character is. You'll see by the things that they choose to share in hopes that you're going to catch on to that competitiveness with them, right? You're going to see their behaviors of the stuff that they're entertaining. Oh man, it is so easy. It is so easy to see through people that have really bad intentions, that have this appearance like they are walking in truth and growing in truth. The things that they're sharing, they're so like, the energy behind the things that they share are so tasteless. It's so tacky. And when you see somebody that's really not competing, and they're really just trying to share things to grow people and to help themselves to better assist other people, they're never going to share anything that's going to bring people down. They're not going to share energy within videos that are egotistical. They're not going to share people that have tastelessness to them, and you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to tell really quick who's working with an energy that's either trying to share like some kind of competing with you, or just like they really don't have good intentions, and you'll see it through their character development. They're not necessarily like like lost people that can never get it right. Like they stunted themselves on the ladder. And I use this analogy of the ladder because we're climbing at different levels, different conscious levels of like where we're growing, where we're learning and being pruned. And they stunted themselves on a certain level of that ladder that they don't know how to get out of, because like the last video or two ago that I had done, it was about the ego getting in the way. A lot of them have ego in the way. They just have to be right. They have to be right. It's not about helping and assisting people. It's about them being right. And you'll see real quick. And in reality, they're doing more harm than they are good. They're tainting their ministry of like their truth that they're trying to share, but they're playing in it in a different field. And God will still use them. They could still be used to help somebody, and it might not be in the way that they're thinking that they are, but what the enemy means for evil, God will mean for good. So like that's the other thing. God will use anybody and anything to help the people that really are going to catch it in the end. And you know, it's like, if you're here and you're learning truth and you're gaining wisdom and you're gaining knowledge, you better be using that for the greater good for people and not yourself and not your own ego. Because when you do that, that will be your reward in the end of the narcissism that you're feeding within yourself. This video is basically a puzzle piece for somebody that is just lacking this part on their walk. Okay? Because we all have this chance to stay stagnant on these climbs. Sometimes it will be like years until a person moves up a notch, you know? But I see so much great potential and I can see where people get stuck at. I can see it. Like if somebody is talking too much about political stuff after they've like came to the awakening process and they're only in the political stuff, right? That's all they like to talk about. They're stagnant on the ladder and they need to go on the next climb. And over a certain amount of time, they should be changing and growing into new levels. Like we're supposed to constantly be renewing our minds, constantly getting a refresher, a new insight, a new perspective. We should be growing in even our behavior patterns. Like, first we start out, we're a little aggressive, you know, we come to the truth, we come to awakening, we start in the very, very beginning. A lot of people, they used to use the terms like people are sheep. They'd be like the sheep, the woke, all this stuff. They'd use these terms. But then when you're on this walk for so long, you start upgrading your level of speech. And so that's what I'm trying to say here. There's an opportunity for a piece of a puzzle. If somebody's been on the same wavelength on that ladder climb for so long, it's just something to like spark a new renewing inside of them. It's nothing to bring anybody down. If you feel that off this video, then you're really stuck in ego. But there's a scripture about that in Proverbs about if you correct a fool, if you correct a wise person, you know, so like I don't know what that person's going to choose. Either they're going to get more hot and antsy, you know, after they see this video and they're going to go full force. You know, a lot of people have a lot of pride in them to where they're going to be like, I'm bringing out all the guns now. I don't give anything about what anybody thinks of me, you know. And sometimes constructive criticism is really helpful. It's really beneficial. It helps motivate people. It's good. Like being shown a different outlet is really good. Like, but you'll be able to tell who's applying it and who's getting hot with it, you know, got offended, you know, offense is really big. But then these people will be the ones that like, this world is so soft and it's offended lately on everything that's talked about. But these are the people that will be the most offended when a new insight of truth is shown on them. Or they'll be wise inside themselves and they'll want the change and they'll apply that change. And then they'll grow into a beautiful new level of extraordinary things that God will use them for. Yeah, so this is more of a the truth shall set people free type of video.